Yeah, it's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
One of
All
these
right.
days, we'll
Yes.
figure it. Yeah, we'll find.
All right, let's get started.
all right.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunch Break today. I am Meredith with Pastor Jay. Per usual.
We
I hadn't
were
said that in a
supposed to have one more person.
We were, and we will.
We will soon.
Because why, Jay? What is the announcement?
This is so exciting. It's a special announcement. You get to hear it first here on Lunch Break before I tell the
Yes.
congregation on Sunday. So for a while now, we've been going through that process, searching for the next worship pastor.
We
Whatever.
have.
We had several people that we talked to and different things, and then we kind of narrowed the focus down to one particular person.
Yep.
Went through more process. I actually had somebody on Sunday. They're like, "Man, your interview process is long. I'm glad I don't have to do that for my job." But anyway, so then Sunday, if you were here Sunday, hopefully you got a chance to meet and talk and hang out with a young man by the name of Ryan Cox.
Yes.
Who actually grew up here at Northwest.
He did. I remember when he was
He's-
here as a teenager.
I know, right? I remember when I first moved here, he was in college and he kind of interned with us for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he went off and he worked at a couple different churches doing worship ministry. Well, anyway, so on Monday of this week, I was able to do the official, let me slide a job offer letter over to
Yay!
Ryan. He accepted, so he
Where's
is
the
going to
applause in the
I know, right? We need an
background?
applause track. Yeah, I know, so excited. So we were hoping he was going to be here with
Yes.
us today.
Yes.
He couldn't make it today. He doesn't officially start until
Right.
September, but I'm
Yes.
excited. Ryan, we have
are
hired Ryan
excited.
Cox to be our next worship
That
pastor.
is
So
very
it's
exciting.
exciting, so good. He's going to do such an amazing job. His
Mm-hmm.
first official Sunday leading is supposed to be September 8th.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Right.
He's got a couple more weeks at church he's currently working at. He's
Right.
got to
some things we got to
close some
work out
loops
because that's
and-
how it is. Was you make a
Right.
transfer with the job? You
That's
know,
right,
it's- Mm-hmm.
absolutely. So he's got to close some loops there, and then he'll be with us the September 8th. But then he's also getting married.
Right, because we're not. I mean, if you think about it, we're not just adding Ryan to our staff and to our congregation. We also are adding his soon-to-be wife.
That's right, Amanda. She's amazing.
She is.
She
is.
She is really, really fun, really
She is.
cool. She sings too, I think.
I think so too.
I think
I haven't
that's-
heard her, but I think that's what I've been told.
It's a word on the street, right?
That's
They say
right.
all the theys.
That's right.
So anyway, so that's really exciting. But so he'll be here September 8th, we hope.
Yes.
And then he'll be out for 2 more weeks.
Right.
Because he has his honeymoon and his
Right.
wedding and all the
Right.
things he'd planned long before this
Yeah.
came along. And then we'll have
Yeah.
him.
They're getting married at Barry, which I'm really excited about because that's where I graduated from school was Barry. So,
Okay, so I mean, Barry's pretty like high end shishi. Like it's pretty like
yeah, unless you have good grades and good SAT scores and you get good scholarships.
Well, no, that's not what I was saying. I was like,
Oh.
I'm guessing. I've never seen it. I'm guessing
Oh.
the chapel is
Oh, it's Frost Chapel up on Mountain Campus, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
okay. I figured with all
Yes.
the like
Yes. In
okay.
fact, and Amanda and I were talking about this on Sunday. You don't even really need any decorations or anything because the church itself is so beautiful
Yeah,
that
it's one of
it's
those,
beautiful
like,
just like it is.
super insta worthy. Like
Correct.
Yeah. Now
But there's no heat and there's no air. Oh, man. Yeah.
I'm going to the wedding.
Yeah. So
There's no heat. There's no air.
no air. No. It's stone, so it's cool in there anyway. And
Okay,
I don't
okay.
know if I remember correctly.
Unless it
Oh,
absorbs all the heat from the sun, and then it's like walking into an oven.
No, I don't think so.
It doesn't work like that.
No,
Okay,
I
don't-
went
yeah.
to a wedding there in August before, and they gave out fans, and you fanned, as
Yeah.
like the favorite, but it wasn't bad.
Okay. So I'm
wasn't
not going to
bad.
die.
No.
Okay. All right. Good. All right.
I mean, it'll be warm,
yeah.
but
Okay.
not excruciating.
I'm excited.
It's beautiful.
I love architecture like that. I love
yes.
old church
well,
buildings.
then you'll love it. It's
so I'm
beautiful
kind
up
of
there.
excited. I assumed it was really, really nice. It's
Yep.
Barry, so
Yes,
whatever.
and
but-
their reception is at the Ford Dining Hall, which you can't. Okay, so the some of the dorms look like castles. They refer to them as the castles.
Okay.
Okay. There's what used to be the dining hall is up there as well. Now that's not the dining hall any longer.
Okay.
But they use it for special events. They use it for dances and other special. They film some movies there. If you've seen Remember the Titans.
Yes.
Remember
Ooh,
when they're in
good
the
movie.
when they're in the cafeteria singing.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the Ford dining hall.
Gotcha. Okay.
They
okay.
used that as the set for the dining, but it was anyway. That's where the reception is.
See, now
so
I'm gonna have to
it's
watch
gorgeous.
that movie again. That's such a good
It's
movie.
such
too.
a good movie.
Oh man.
I lived on campus when they filmed that movie.
Did you meet
So-
Denzel?
I did not
See?
get to meet
Okay.
Denzel.
All right, just-
Listen, it was still a close set. Like they weren't just letting anybody.
But you're Meredith. You
Walk
could have
on
like
the
walked up
set.
and been
No.
like, Denzel. Hey.
Yeah, of course.
yeah.
Of course. No, who
Could-
I
you
wanted
know.
to meet was Reese Witherspoon because they filmed Sweet Home Alabama. Do you know that movie? Maybe not. It's a chick flick.
No, I am not completely devoid of capacity to watch movies like
Okay.
that. Like,
Okay. I mean, it's not sci-fi.
it's not Die Hard or Star Wars or Remember
Right.
the Titans.
It's none of
but I have
that.
seen Sweet Home Alabama. I've seen
They
it.
filmed a lot of that
okay.
on the Berry campus as
Really?
well.
Now,
So
supposedly Barry's like the biggest college campus,
It
like
is.
land-wise in the country or
it
whatever.
is like 28,000 acres or something like that.
What?
I think they've acquired more since I went there because it's just been a little while. But yeah, it's gorgeous
That's
up
cool.
there, and it's really
I'm excited though. I'm like, it's gonna be fun. So anyway,
yeah. There
they're
we
getting
go.
married September 14th.
I don't remember the date,
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
remember either. Somewhere in September.
Yep.
So I just know he'll be here the 8th. We hope.
Okay.
Then out for 2 Sundays, and then he'll be back. So.
Okay, he did a good job this weekend.
He
It was
did do a good
great.
job.
It was a great Sunday.
It-
Let's just
all
say
the way
that
around.
it was a great.
It was solid. It was
Sunday.
good. I had somebody came up to me like, Jay, that's the best sermon you ever preached because I didn't say anything. I'm like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, a comedian in the
Right.
congregation.
That's okay. That's wow. I feel really good about that. No, but Doug did an amazing job.
He
Ryan
did.
did an amazing job. Just some of the stuff that Doug shared was phenomenal. He was talking about, I think the thing that stood out to me the most, he talked about how by the middle of next year in 2025, there will be a missionary or a Christian presence in every single people group on planet Earth. That has never happened in the history of the world.
Wow.
Because just even 10 years ago, when I first started really pushing this here at Northwest, there were thousands of unreached people groups on the planet that had no Christian presence of any kind.
Right.
No missionary, no church, no active, Christian folks in these
Right.
people groups. And by the middle of 2025,
Wow.
every single one will have at least a missionary, if not a church of some kind. And I mean, Jesus prophesied in Matthew 24 about the end times. He's talking about the end of the
Right.
world. And it's this really kind of a weird passage. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of controversy about Matthew 24. Anyway, he said in there, the gospel will be preached to all nations. And the word nation means people group, not the way, and Doug talked about this too. It's not
Right.
nations the way we think of like, China or
Right.
Mexico or
Man-made
whatever.
borders that
Correct. It's the word ethne, which means ethnic. It's where we get ethnic people group. It's language group, specific, unique culture kind of thing.
Right.
And so Jesus said, the gospel will be preached in every single people group, and then the end will come.
Wow.
And so that prophecy could never be fulfilled until middle of 2025.
Wow.
Crazy.
It is
like,
crazy.
So cool. And
Yeah.
so I don't know what that means. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going to happen at that point.
Right.
Like maybe Jesus will come back. I don't
Right.
know. Hopefully, who knows?
Right.
But it's just to think that we are living in a time
Right.
where we're watching biblical prophecy fulfilled.
Right.
So cool.
And team expansion has been a huge part of that. And the
Huge.
way that they are able to do that is through giving of different churches that support them, including Northwest.
Yes.
And that's why we talk about giving at the end of every Sunday.
Yep.
And we talk about giving at other times is because part of the way that happens
Yeah.
is from people tithing on obediently and on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
Well, because that's what we challenge people here is to tithe,
Mm-hmm.
which means 10%, is to give, right off the top, give your first fruits, your 10% to Northwest.
Right.
Because that's what we see in Scripture. And then what Northwest does is we tithe off of your tithes.
Right.
So we take the first 10% of whatever comes in on Sunday, and that goes to global missions.
Right.
And a
Including
large
team
chunk goes to
expansion.
team expansion.
Right.
I think it's about 40-something% of our tithe as an organization goes to different team expansion missionaries.
Right.
Because we believe so strongly in helping them fulfill this global
Right.
mission of sharing the gospel with every people group on earth. And
Right.
so it's really just cool to be a part of.
Yeah,
And to
absolutely.
see the wall and hear Doug preach. And then we celebrated Cheryl
We
at the
did,
end.
yes.
And we did it in style. It was so good.
It was so much fun, and it was delicious. I'm trying to think of another word. It was. There's just no words to describe
Yeah.
how delicious this food is, and I can say that because we all can say that, but I
It
can
was so
brag a little
good.
bit
Yeah,
because it
you
was
should.
my husband.
I would
so.
say, but and well, and your daughter too.
And
like,
Natalie, yes,
I
that's
think
true.
at least what I heard, the most like the thing that everybody was like fighting over most
Mm-hmm. Right.
was Natalie's onion rings.
I didn't even get to try them, but I believe it.
I grabbed like one of the last ones. There was like this in one of the pans. There was
Yes.
like 3 of them left, and I saw people coming, and I'm like, whoa!
Yeah.
And that's, that. So they were so good.
Yeah, good.
She did good.
She was set to serve in kids ministry,
Mm-hmm.
and then the kitchen team was like, "Natalie, are you going to come cook?" So she had to go talk to the children's director,
Yeah.
aka your wife,
Carrie.
and
Yeah, right,
yes,
yeah.
and say, "Hey, is it okay if I go and cook?" And of course, Carrie, our volunteer, stepped up and covered her.
That's so
know
good.
her responsibility so that she could go and.
It was delicious too.
cook.
The
But
food
it
was
great,
so good,
and it was just fun. The
It was
music was
fun.
fun, and the
Douglas was dancing.
He was.
Like other people were dancing, got to just hang out and
Yep.
just celebrate. Cheryl's family came.
They did.
Which was really cool.
Yep.
And we got to honor her and share a gift from
Yes.
what the congregation gave. I mean, it
Yes.
was just
yeah,
it was just a good day.
it was a great day.
It really was.
It was.
So-
So this coming week, what's happening on Sunday of this week then?
So it's going to be kind of a downer compared to last week, right? Like, so I'll be preaching again.
No
so,
party after church this
right, I
week,
know.
you know.
No party, no fish fry. No, we're actually this week we're going to talk about fasting. So
Okay.
that's why we're not doing a party. Is it? No, but we're
Come
we're,
and eat,
we're-
and then come and learn how
then
to
learn how
fast.
not eat. Yeah, that's
Yes.
right. How to fast. And so that's the next section in
Okay.
Sermon on the Mount. Jesus talking about fasting.
Right.
And there's some interesting things about what Jesus did with fasting that were unique, and how Christianity took the ancient practice of fasting, because every religious group on earth practices fasting. It's not just Christianity. And the Jews had been doing it for centuries before Christ, so that's not a new thing.
Right.
But every religion practices that. They see that as abstaining from food is a spiritual practice in every religion. But
Right.
Jesus took it and he put a new spin on it, on what fasting should be about and what it's for,
Right.
and what we can see through fasting. So I'm going to challenge people with something hard.
Okay.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah.
It's something I've challenged. We did this challenge 7 years ago. Something like-
Okay.
we call it Go Dark 30. And the challenge is to get off all technology for 30 hours.
Okay.
Like TV, GPS, everything for 30
Wow.
hours. Yeah, and it's
Okay, so as a staff member here at church,
Mm-hmm.
am I going to be allowed to turn off my text messages and my Slack messages and everything
yes.
from team members here?
Yes,
Okay.
for 30 hours. And
Okay.
you can, what I encourage people is like, hey, if you got a job where you're
Right.
required to be connected,
Right.
you're on call, whatever. Okay, figure out how you can do that, because almost nobody's on call permanently
Right.
24/7.
Right.
Right. So you figure out and be like, okay, so if I start at 8:00 at night on a Friday,
Mm-hmm. Right.
then 8:00
Right.
gets me, that's 24 hours on Saturday night, and then so by the time I wake up on Sunday, I'm
you
back.
go.
I'm back to normal. Like,
That's
okay, so
true.
basically it's a day.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
so
Because
so
you are
get-
sleeping during some of
you're
that.
sleeping
so.
through a chunk of that. So like so you can do it. It's just our world is structured, and we never turn
Right.
devices off.
Right.
We always have our phones on, always have our notifications. We never unplug. Even if we're like, oh, I'm not gonna check my phone. You're sitting in bed at night watching TV for an hour.
Sure.
Like and so it's just the challenge for a purpose. It's
Yes.
not just to
be intentional.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that's part of what Jesus challenged us with fasting.
Okay.
Is to do it for purpose. And so and you don't have to do it. But it's one of those
Sure.
things. I think it's harder to fast from technology than it is to fast from food.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's someone who loves food.
Right.
I love food. I hate fasting from
Right.
food. It's so
Sure.
hard. But technology's harder.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna try it.
Okay.
We're gonna push people. It's gonna be fun.
Okay.
And then let's see, we got a new worship guy leading
Yes.
this week.
Yes. Noah Sampson.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Excited to
he-
hear him. And
It's gonna be good.
Here in Lady, it's going to be great.
He's good.
He's a great singer,
Yeah.
great guitar player. I've heard him sing at other events, and he's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
That's so cool.
It'll be
So that'll
good.
be this Sunday. So we'll do that. And then
he's here the next 2 Sundays, right?
Yeah.
Before-
so this Sunday and then September 1st as
At least
well.
that's the plan, because
That's-
you got to be flexible.
Yeah.
Things
that's right.
happen and things
Yeah.
change, but
So,
right now, yeah, that's
Should
the
be
plan.
good. And
Okay,
so
good.
and September 1st is
one service Sunday, but it's a little different this year or this time. One service Sunday for Labor Day weekend, but it's at 10:15. 10:15. We will send out a text message the night before to remind you, but we did change the time a little bit. Why do we do that, Jay? Why don't we change the time a little bit?
So part of it, like I think the biggest thing when we were talking about it was like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's kind of not fair to second service crew,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because normal service times are 9:30 and 11,
Right?
and we always did 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So like if your first service, that's only half an hour. That's no
Sure.
big deal. But if your second service, that's a whole hour earlier.
It is.
It's kind of not fair. So 10:15 is like right in the middle. So then
Mm-hmm.
everybody's mad.
That's there you go.
It's like a good compromise.
You're an
Everybody's
equal
mad.
opportunity offender.
That's right. That's
Right
that's
there.
what compromise is for. It just
Uh-huh,
makes everybody
yeah.
angry. So it'll be good.
Okay, good.
And I love one service Sundays.
I do too.
Labor Day weekend, I know there's gonna be people out of town, this
Right.
kind of stuff. But they're just fun.
They are. And we will have kids programming, birth to through 5th grade.
Yes.
That's
Also a change for us, which is exciting.
yes.
Because we
So
normally don't have that, and so
Right.
we will have it.
Yes, we will have kids programming, kids
Good deal.
classes, and so
Super fun.
yeah,
It's gonna be good.
it is good. It
What
is.
else? Do we have anything else?
I mean, we've just had so much lately. I think it's good. We're just like, okay,
Just
next, this coming up Sunday is just going to kind of be a normal Sunday, and Noah will be
Yeah.
here, and then we'll have one service.
one
and then,
service, and then Ryan will be here.
That's
September 8th.
right. And believe it or not, like Christmas is going to be here in no time. No time.
So I have this really cool sermon series idea for Christmas.
Okay.
But
But you're not going to tell today,
I
right?
know I'm not going to tell
Okay.
you. But it ties the Old Testament to the New Testament.
Oh, yay.
There's some of the prophecies of the Old Testament and how. Anyways.
Okay.
It's one particular passage of scripture, a prophecy in Zechariah, the book of Zechariah.
Oh.
And so I'm still working on it.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
still,
Yes.
in process. So that's
Still
why I
in the
can't
planning
Yeah,
stages.
but I
Uh-huh.
think it's going to be super cool.
Okay.
So
I
we'll see.
always love when you do those new takes. I mean, I know that's the goal for every pastor at Christmas,
Yeah.
but you've been so creative in some of these takes that you know.
It's hard. Like
I'm sure it is. I'm sure.
Christmas and Easter are every preacher will tell you this. They're the hardest because I mean they're the best stories, right? Obviously
Sure.
it's Christmas, it's Easter.
Sure,
it's so
important stories to us.
Yeah. But everybody knows them.
Right.
And so how do you
Even if you're not a Christian, you know
Yeah.
if you're not a believer, you know them.
Right. And so there's that familiarity that
Right.
can breed like
Yeah.
they're going to talk
Apathy.
about Yep. So it's going to
Good.
I think this one will be cool. So we'll,
Okay,
we'll
I'm
find
sure
out.
it will. I'm sure it will. All right. Well, thanks for being here
Yeah.
today, and thanks for the big announcement.
I'm
So
It's gonna be
excited.
so cool.
It is. It's
I'm super
great.
pumped. I'm ready for him to
and
get in.
he's so excited.
Yes.
He is pumped about it.
Well, and what's cool, I was thinking about this the other day. One of our elders mentioned this. So he's got a new job, just bought a new house. He's getting married.
Yep.
And like
Yeah.
all in
Yeah.
span of like a couple of weeks in there. It's like all new stuff.
It's an exciting time for him.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Glad we get to be a part of that.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's
it's going to
good.
be fun.
All right. Well, thanks for being here
Yep,
today.
thanks. It's gonna be
And
good.
thanks for watching Lunch Break, and we'll see you next week.
And we're out. Good deal.